HTML is a markup language used to create web pages. An application of SGML, a standard for defining generalized markup languages for documents. HTML was created by Tim Berners-Lee in the 80s while working on a computer services project at CERN, the European Laboratory for Particle Physics, in Geneva, Switzerland. Tim wanted to build a system in which researchers at CERN could view and share documents in a more efficient way than through email or through the handoff of a storage device. This was an important task due to the fact that CERN was comprised of thousands of researchers from different parts of the world, working on a number of different machines running different operating systems. Tim Berners-Lee's first crack at the problem resulted in Enquire. Essentially, Enquire allowed researchers to view a web page that contained information on a topic, along with text links that linked to more web pages containing more information with links. These links represented relationships such as made, includes, uses, and describes. In building a relationship in Enquire, such as A made B, the inverse relationship is automatically added. So for instance, page B would then have a relationship of made by A. The design was somewhat of a bare-bones version of a wiki. By the mid-80s, Tim Berners-Lee was intrigued to improve Enquire. He also wanted a system that would be accessible to everyone, not just certain researchers. He got to work on this, and by 1990 he had a prototype running on his next computer. On August 6, 1991, Tim Berners-Lee published the first website, which can be visited at its original URL. And on October 29, 1991, he published a document called HTML tags, in which he provided descriptions for the first tags used to build web pages. In April 1992, web browsers, applications used to display web pages, began to surface, including one built by a team of students at the Helsinki University of Technology as their master's project. Pei Wei, a graduate of University of California at Berkeley, also created a web browser called Viola www. In 1993, Mark Andreessen, a student at the University of Illinois, along with Eric Bina and others, created the Mosaic web browser. It was this browser that introduced the masses to the World Wide Web. Around this time, HTML 1.0 was formally defined as an application of SGML by the Internet Engineering Task Force. On November 24, 1995, HTML 2.0 was published. 4 months later, in March of 1996, HTML 3.0 was published as an internet draft. However, HTML 3.0 did not catch on throughout the industry. Most browsers chose to pick and choose which features of HTML 3.0 they wanted to incorporate in their individual browsers. On January 14, 1997, HTML 3.2 was published as a W3C recommendation, making it official across the industry. On December 18, 1997, HTML 4.0 was published as a W3C recommendation. HTML 4.01 was published a couple years later on Christmas Eve 1999 and was the last version to be published for 15 years until HTML5 was published as a W3C recommendation on October 28, 2014. Today, HTML 5.3 is the latest version of HTML published as a W3C recommendation. Over the years, HTML has evolved in many ways. Some features have been added, some removed. HTML 1.0 consisted of a total of 18 tags. There are close to 150 tags in the latest version of HTML5. The current specifications of HTML are maintained by the Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. Developing HTML is pretty straightforward. In fact, all you need is a text editor and a browser. So you can write HTML on a program as bare bones as Notepad or even VI or Vim, and you can run the HTML in any browser you use to browse the web.